More and more West Hartford homeowners are cashing out and heading down to Florida. A couple videos back, I broke down some of the pros and cons, specifically to talk about why folks are making that decision. We went through a lot of scenarios. In this video, I want to dive in and focus in just on the properties themselves. I wanted to take a look at what that 500,000 price point, 550, gets you in West Hartford versus what it gets you down in Tampa, Florida. Now, I did this specifically so we can isolate some of the other issues like the weather, the lifestyle, and really focus in on what you actually get for your money in terms of a real estate product, the pros and cons of that. So, before I dive in, if you have any questions, we get calls all the time from people who watch these videos, texts, emails. I'm always happy to talk, dive in, and help. So let's take a look at the first property. I want to take a look at a West Hartford property. This is not my particular listing, so I'm not promoting this in any way. It's strictly informational. I'm going to put a link to the Realtor.com link of this listing in the description below. It's listed over on 25 Meadow Farms here in town, which is off Tunxus Road. The square footage is 1,570 square feet. It's a 3-bed, 2.5-bath colonial. It also has a finished basement with an extra 345 square feet. And if you click on the link in the description, you can see it's a nice, clean, updated home that's really been well cared for. So it's a good, quality home. It does have a 1-car garage. And the property taxes, which are a lot of times one of the key things people are thinking about, the property taxes are $9,379. Now, I know a lot of people naturally assume that the taxes are much lower in Florida. So this is one of the items that I wanted to compare. Now, for the Florida property, obviously Florida is a huge state. I picked Tampa kind of randomly, as some folks do head down to Tampa from West Hartford, as well as some other areas, obviously. But wanted to just narrow in on one particular area and see if I can find another example in that 500 range. Now, the 25 Meadow Farms property in West Hartford, that was listed at 525. So, although the home is nice and clean, you're getting a home that was built in the 50s, about 1,500 square foot and change above grade for 525. Down in Florida, Tampa, Florida, the property address I want to zone in at and compare is 4712 Wild Senna Boulevard in Tampa, Florida. Again, this is not my listing. I have no association with this listing at all. And the link to the exact listing is in the description below. So you can pull it open and follow it along while we talk a little bit more. Now, some of the things that stand out about this property, it's 6 beds, 3 baths. So obviously you're getting more there compared to the West Hartford property. It's 3,362 square feet. So a little over twice the above grade square footage. And it's built in 2021. So a couple factors that jump right out at you if you're looking at the pictures and while I'm speaking is the size of the property is much bigger. And the property's a lot newer. So bigger and newer, those are the two main things. Now, I know when I started to do the research, I assumed the property taxes would be lower. Well, in fact, the property taxes on this property are $12,609. So now, something to keep in mind, this is twice the size property. And the property taxes, although they're more, you're getting a bigger house down there too. So I do, of course, want to point that out. But I assumed as I started the research that they would automatically be lower because that's what you hear, right? And obviously that's not always the case. It depends on the town, it depends on the size property, and a lot of other factors to see if you are going to save in taxes. But taxes aside, if you're comparing house, you can see your money does go farther in this particular scenario. And you can see why Florida kind of grabs the attention of not just West Hartford, Connecticut folks in general, as a spot to cash out while the market's high up here and go down south to a spot like Tampa, Florida. If you're not ready to have any conversations, but this video resonates, I have a seller's guide that I'm happy to share with you that kind of helps folks that are really in those early stages. If you comment below seller's guide, I will send you a link for that, so you can go ahead and look at that on your own time. And if you are serious about making a move, whether it's down to Florida or maybe you're staying in Connecticut, the first step is really getting an understanding of the timeline it will take for you to sell your home, and also what specifically your home is worth, so that you can go ahead and start to work backwards and see what your next steps would be. So if I can help with any of that, I'm always happy to have a conversation and dive in to your specific scenario. And if not, there's plenty of other videos here for you to dive into and kind of learn about the West Hartford market and what's going on here in town. I will see you later this week.